first thoughts video on a new rifle that I picked up. This is the Marlin 1894 SBL stainless steel. It's famous in a couple of movies. It is in Jurassic World, the 4570 version of it, and it's also in the movie Wind River with Jeremy Renner as a animal control person. This one that I have here is in 44 Magnum. Let's see here. It's got a really nice stock on it. Very nice forend right here. This is my first lever gun. I am excited to get this thing sighted in and ready for deer season. Deer season here in Wisconsin is just right around the corner. We are in mid-October right now. Can't wait to get this thing sighted in. Right now I have a Vortex 1-4 by 24 low magnification scope on there. This thing was previously on my 12 gauge shotgun that's set up for deer hunting. Show you that this thing's empty. No rounds in there. You'll be able to also tell right there. There's no brass color in there. But yeah, first lever gun. Really pleased with it. I did fire it before with just the ghost ring sights. It comes factory with ghost ring sights. This thing right here. The rear sight right here. And high vis white post right here. Also comes with a factory extended length Picatinny rail that the scope's mounted on. It's a very, very long rail. But yeah, I've read nothing but good things about this rifle. What made me want to get it. I aim to employ it as a good brush gun. My property is only 10.5 acres, and there's, I'd say, probably about 5 acres of it is heavily wooded, and that's just a narrow passage that I'm not going to be shooting in anyway, because it backs up to a road. But then there's another portion of it that's all field, and I have a tripod stand that overlooks the majority of it. So this is going to be a good medium range rifle. It's going to be more or less bring up really fast, aim and shoot. I aim to use it within 100 yards, not any further. So I'm going to get it zeroed in at 100, possibly 75 yards. From what I know, 44 Magnum drops significantly past 100 yards. At 100 yards, it drops about a ½ inch. So I think within 75 yards, it's going to maintain a really good terminal velocity as well as really good predictable trajectory. So I'm probably going to keep it at around 75 yards. I have a low magnification scope on here. Like I said before, it is a 1-4 by 24 scope. So it doesn't bring up the target very close. It's just meant for bringing in really good light for reduced visibility, and also just getting quick crosshairs on there without it being over magnified. So it's going to be the perfect scope for what I need it for. Yeah, so the first thing about it is 44 Magnum. This is the stuff that I use. I use the Hornady Lever Evolution, as I've shown you guys in previous videos. I'm a firm believer in Hornady Lever Evolution. Anything that has the FTX polymer tip on there. My 6.5 Creedmoor has the Hornady soft points. My other guns have the flex tips on there, like my 22 Magnum for predator management, and I believe my shotgun too, my slug gun, has the FTX polymer tips on there too. Has very good controlled expansion. If anyone's looking for a type of round to use for their hunting needs and everything, definitely recommend Hornady as a brand and their FTX rounds more specifically. A couple things I noticed about this rifle: it's got a very short length of pull, which makes it really easy for a person with short arms like mine. And if you want to bring it up nice and close for being a brush gun and firing it really fast with the lever, that's another plus with the short length of pull. Also the reduced length. Look at it right here. This is the length of the rifle. Super short. I believe it's exactly 16 inches. Not any more than that. Got a really attractive wood stock on here. Kind of like a grayscale. It's got the classic stainless steel finish instead of like the, it's got kind of a gloss to it versus the flat stainless that's more modern. I guess called the glass bead type of stainless. And I went ahead and put a TLO Outdoors sling on there. It's made of paracord. I kind of like it because it's nice and silent. It's not going to do any crinkling or bending or any of that while it's nice and cold. Right now we sank into single digits overnight. It's getting pretty cold here. It's also snowing at the moment outside. Can't wait to show you guys how well this thing shoots. Fired it a couple times already myself. A beauty about a lever action is if it's cocked already, you can have it in a safe position and then pop it out of safe when you're ready to fire, and it's actually pretty quiet. Listen. Yeah, so that's pretty quiet. Or what you can do is you can put it around in the chamber like this and then ride the trigger forward. And when you're ready to shoot, if you see an animal, go ahead and pull the hammer back. And then be ready to fire. I really like this rifle. I'm a fan of every rifle that I own because I just do a lot of research prior to buying. This is probably the most expensive rifle that I own because I sold an AK pre-ban Saiga, which is worth a lot of money. This right here I picked up for $1,140. So, I mean, it is an expensive rifle. It's something that if I didn't sell something to get, I wouldn't have gotten it. But the pre-ban Saiga that I got, that thing was worth $1,900, but I sold it for $1,700. So I'm really pleased with what I have. I even bought a freezer for large game whenever I do get some deer meat or turkey meat in the freezer. Before I didn't have a freezer. I only had the one that was attached to the refrigerator. But a deep freezer is something that every sportsman needs. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing a future video sighting this thing in. You guys will be able to see how easy it fires. There's only one negative I have to say about this rifle is its trigger. It has a lot of take-up before it goes off. It almost forces you to anticipate the recoil the way it is. Because I already showed you guys that it's empty. No rounds in here. So I'm going to show you guys the trigger real quick. It's very, I don't really know how to describe it. There's a take-up. It's crisp, but you pull, and immediately it just goes off. So it could be a little lighter. But that's my only complaint about this rifle. It's really just a cool looking gun. Anyway, it's that time of year. I'm getting ready. I put the fabric as a blind around my tripod stand. It's looking pretty good. Hopefully it breaks the wind a little bit because I'm out in the open. Hopefully it also reduces what can be seen of my movement if I happen to be moving my feet. But yeah, here's my little overview of this rifle. This is my first thoughts. Really like it. I'll use this as a property defense rifle, a hunting rifle for deer or for bear. The person who I bought it from, I bought this at Gregerson's Ace Hardware. of all places, Ace Hardware. It's my favorite store ever. But he uses the same gun to hunt, except he's got the 4570 version. But he said his 4570 version he used for black bear, and he said he really appreciated the fact that it had really nice fast follow-up shots when you're shooting. Again, this thing's empty. I'm just gonna show you how to operate it. It's almost like you have enough control over it, almost like a semi-auto. But it's just something really nice about having a lever gun. It's also got a very nice big loop too. I can fit my fat hands in there, and also with this hand it's going to need a really fat glove because I have a little bit of limited blood movement in this hand because of the damage that that happened to it a couple of years ago. So there's some damaged veins that reduces my blood flow, so makes hunting in the cold kind of a bitch. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really excited to give this thing a shot. Show you guys how good it operates. I'll probably be getting a nice winter video shooting this, and I feel like I have it set up pretty well. Nice low magnification scope on there. Great within 100 yards, not shooting anything past that. Yeah, this is going to be really good rifle. I already know. There is an 8-point and a 6-point roaming my property. Let's see what this one can do to either of those two. If I get an option, if I see either of them, if I see a 6-point first, I'm not holding back. I'm going to get the 6-point. The real trophy is the meat, honestly. Anyway, my 2 cents on my first thoughts of this rifle. Really pleased with it. It fires well, really does. Also, I shot it with, first I had a red dot on there. I just wasn't getting the groups that I liked with a red dot on there, so some type of magnification is what I really needed. So this will tighten the groups up quite a bit. Haven't shot it with the scope on there yet. I know with open sights I was actually getting groups that were probably about this big. I'd say here, about that big, at 50 yards. So I mean, it's not too bad, especially since it's a short barrel. Really nice, nicely built gun. This is my first Marlin, so I really like it. I know Henry, for the most part, kind of takes the cake on most lever actions, but I feel like Marlin kind of outdid themselves with this model. It's old school, kind of has the old world meets new world charm to it. It looks like a good bug out gun. If I had to bug out, I'd probably bug out with this. I added a shell holder here, cartridge holder. And that's pretty much really all that you need. You can carry a lot of 44 Magnum. I know I did a video on 44 Magnum being pretty much the best survival round ever because you can kill pretty much anything in North America with it, and you can carry a lot of it. You can carry a variety of it, and being relatively obscure of a round, it's going to be available on just about every shelf except for now in the ammo shortage. I think that's 357 and 44 Magnum are probably some of the most common rounds that are on the shelf because they're relatively obscure. A lot of people go after the 40 cal, the 9mm, and other rifle rounds and everything. But it's nice having a rifle that interchanges with my revolver. I think that's a huge plus. And having lever action versus a break barrel increases my rate of fire, which is also another plus. So this would be a very decent rifle for stuff like that. For bug out, for survival, for hunting, follow-up shots and everything. So that's just an attractive feature of it all. So you'll be seeing this in a future video of me sighting it in. I can't wait to show you. Thank you for returning back to my channel.